I think I've actually been in that restaurant before a long time ago, Honey Pig. And the food's good, but just more than I'm willing to eat right now. I'm not that hungry. This is actually pretty cool. They have a noraebang, which is a Korean singing room here. Basically karaoke. This restaurant right here actually looks really promising. This would be the kind of place I would go, but the prices here are quite a bit higher than what you're going to find in Korea. So that is one drawback to not being there and being here in kind of the Koreatowns in the US, is they are more expensive. This is just one of several strip malls along the highway here that have a lot of Korean and Asian places to check out, to eat, to play golf, taekwondo. There's like a souvenir gift shop over there. There's a karaoke place or a noraebang. I mean, it's pretty cool that they have this. Ooh, it is a freezing cold winter morning here, and I am back in the Maryland, Baltimore area. First time this year. So I'm just doing a little bit of exploring and kind of going back to places that I remember when I lived here for a very short time. So right now I am just west of the city of Baltimore, in this really charming small town called Ellicott City. And this is a place that I used to come to once in a while. This is actually the main street, which I've only been to a few times, but the real reason I was over this way was because it is where the Koreatown in Baltimore is located. I will say though, if you're over here, this is definitely a spot you want to check out, especially if you like these cute little towns. And this one has a very interesting historical vibe. It feels very much like a small European city, and that's probably just because of all the old stone buildings. Kind of takes me back to my time in Edinburgh a bit. But let's just walk around here before I take you over to Koreatown so you can see how cool this little place is. I am an early morning person, so I always love a good sunrise, and I think today going to be pretty spectacular with some clouds. This is really cool because one of the things they are known for here is their old railway station, and it claims to be the oldest one in the country, the B&O Railroad, or I think it stands for Baltimore and Ohio. But this was very, very early on in the country's founding. And because I love trains so much, this would be a perfect kind of museum thing to check out. This station right here is really, really kind of fascinating and cool because it definitely feels like you're just back in time here. One of the earliest stations, Ellicott's Mills. And they have the B&O caboose. So if this were open, I would be able to walk through there, but I'm still a little early. I don't think the museum actually opens till 10 a.m. So just be prepared to come here a little bit later, especially if you're like me and you get up really early and you start your day at 5. You might have to wait a little bit to go in there, but you can always just look at it from here. Somebody put a TARDIS right here. I don't know how much more British you can get, but I just noticed there's a sign that says public library free for use of public. And then if you come over here, if you open the door, there are books inside. Isn't that amazing? It says take a book, share a book. I love it. It's like a community book thing. So the main street kind of winds around and goes up a small hill here. It's not really, very steep at all, so it's not difficult to walk. And just, looking at the shops as I go up is kind of interesting. It is a little bit of a tourist town, but it's kind of obvious too when you see it. You'll see a psychic reading place, some cafes, some little boutiques, antique stores. But again, it's really nice, and it does feel oddly like I'm back in Europe or back in, Scotland or England. Well, it doesn't seem like anything is open, none of the businesses here. But that's probably okay because less tourists, and it's really cold out, middle of winter. Oh, some nice murals on the walls over here. I'm really liking this mural here. But you know what? Any mural that features animals on it is a good mural. Cheese. So right here is a historic log cabin that you can see that's been placed right there, I think in 2022. But that's pretty cool. Again, leaning into their heritage here. I've done the entire main street from the bottom all the way to the top, and you could probably walk it in like 15 minutes if you weren't stopping, taking a lot of pictures like me. But yeah, it's a charming little area here that you should definitely check out, especially if you want to get away from the big city of Baltimore. But now it's time for me to actually go and do what I really wanted to, and that's see one of the places that I first found when I moved back from Korea in 2003, because I was looking for that food and culture here in the U.S. Oh, this is something new and different. I am just here in what is known as the Baltimore Koreatown, or the Maryland Koreatown, right along this road here, Highway 40. And they have a plaque that they've put up. That wasn't there the first time I visited here. I actually found this place back in 2003, over 20 years ago, because when I had come back from living in Korea for 2 years, I was looking for a place to get some good Korean food and culture in the U.S. And my dad was living here in Baltimore at the time and saw an article in the paper that said, oh, a new Korean restaurant was opening, and it was out this way. So I came out, and then I found all these little mini malls filled with Korean businesses, a lot of restaurants, cafes, even some bars. I believe that there are about 15,000 Koreans that live just in this county here. This is Howard County, but there are 50,000 overall in Maryland. So that's quite a bit of people. It is really, really cold and windy here right now, probably because I'm standing right next to a busy highway. So I'm just gonna go over and check out a cafe right over here called Tous les Jours. Korea has some of the best coffee culture in the entire world. I would say better than even Europe. This place is a chain. There's another one called Paris Baguette, which is also similar to this. It's kind of a French-style bakery. And these are global, so they have them everywhere all over the world now. And there are quite a few here in the U.S. Most states have one in their bigger cities, so you can find them pretty much all over the place. They have some really good pastries as well, but I'm not going to have any of those right now, just the coffee. Keep me going for a little bit longer. But I will leave here and head over to a really large supermarket that is quite famous here in the US as well, called H Mart. And this kind of started here back in the 80s. They don't actually have them in Korea. In Korea, you'd have places like E Mart or Home Plus. But for the diaspora here, it's H Mart. One of the things that does kind of bother me about this Koreatown is that it's not all together in one central location. So you kind of have to drive up and down Highway 40 here, and which can be quite busy. It's 6 lanes across, 3 lanes in each direction, with heavy traffic, especially in the mornings and in the evenings during rush hours. So you just have to be able to kind of get off and get to different restaurants or cafes that are located in different places, which can be a little tricky. This is such a massive grocery store. And if you're like me and you like to cook your own Korean food, this is definitely where you can get your ingredients. And there are really just 2 that you need for most Korean dishes, which I've learned over time. The first ingredient that any good Korean chef needs is kimchi. Pretty much goes in everything, and it's kind of like one of their national cultural heritage foods. And here's the other thing that you need for most Korean dishes, and this is red pepper paste called gochujang. And you can get it in all different sizes, from tiny little things like this to massive containers that will last you years, probably. But this is definitely what you need if you want to make Korean food at home. I never need this much. And they have quite a few home goods here. Everything for stuff in the kitchen to stuff in the bedroom and the bathroom. These are fun. These are like chopsticks for kids to learn how to use them. I wish I had those when I was younger. It would have saved me all that heartache at 20 when I could barely use chopsticks, especially because they're metal in Korea. And all these over here, these are all different rice cookers, different sizes, different types. God, some of these are really fancy, like this one, $600. I would say, truthfully, just get the little $15 to $20 one, unless you're cooking rice for like a restaurant or something. How did I not know Bororo had his own cereal? That's pretty crazy. I'm tempted to buy it only because I love the little penguin, but yeah. Oh, $12. No thank you. This is a very popular snack nowadays, these almonds that are each individually flavored. Lots of different flavors here. They're $9 a bag though. See, that's the real tricky part about this. The catch is that all this stuff comes directly from Korea. It's imported, so you're gonna pay a lot more for it here, even at the grocery store. It's kind of fun though that you can get it without having to, you know, make a 14-hour flight. One of the things I love about this grocery store too is that they have lots of little restaurants inside where you can get different kinds of Korean food and even some sushi. Wow, look how big that bowl of jajang is. That looks so good. I'll be honest with you, I probably waited too long to eat because I'm starving. And these noodles, just calling my name. You know, the best part about all this is that I can come here, I can do my grocery shopping for the week, I can buy appliances for my home, for the bathroom, for the bedroom. I can get stuff from the beauty store if I need it. I can go to a cafe. I can eat at a really nice restaurant like this one and get my dinner. And it's all right here in the same building. Can't really beat that. All right, well, I just finished my dinner and now I am full and I am ready for sleep. So I am gonna go find a place to lay my head for the evening. But this was a lot of fun. I hope you enjoyed kind of exploring this neighborhood with me, this kind of area. It is really big and spread out, which is the only thing I don't like about it. So it's hard to see it all, and I didn't even come close. But if you are here in Baltimore and you want to check out Koreatown, this is the place to do it. It is over on Route 40 near Ellicott City. As far as other Koreatowns around the country, I have been to a few. I've been to one in Dallas. I've been to the one in LA, which is kind of the big one that everybody knows. And not too far from here is one of my favorites, and that is the one for DC. It's actually in Virginia in a city called Annandale. And that one, I think, is much bigger than this one. It's more centralized, so it's easier to get around and kind of do stuff. They have some fun bars down there as well, which I don't know if they really have bars here. But I would say that, yeah, this is a fun place to come as well. So let me know what you think. Maybe you've been here, maybe you live around here and this is your home. But I really enjoy it, and it brings back a lot of memories, some real nostalgia for me of my early 20s. Anyway, stay safe, healthy, and happy, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now. Thanks for joining me today. Life's a journey meant to be shared. Remember to always travel with an open heart and an open mind. Enjoy the ride and keep your eyes on the horizon for the next adventure. I'll see you out there.